Hello, hello. I'm O Speaks. If you're new here, like, subscribe, share. Miss Jessica, how you doing? You must be driving. That music got you going, huh? I don't normally go live this late, but I watched a video earlier, and I was gonna do a short form video about it, but I decided to go live in case somebody wanted to come up and talk about it. This is a serious topic, and I have a very short presentation. Like I said, I wasn't planning on doing this. That's why I called it a pop-up live. And the question, or the two questions that the live consists of is, do your younger kids play Roblox, and do you monitor what they're doing? This video, which I'm about to get to right now, um, like I said, it shocked me. I have a younger son who's about to be 7 in November, so he's 6 years old. He plays Roblox, but I think we do a pretty good job monitoring it. And then I'll talk about how after we go over this. But this is wild. Good evening, Miss Just J. How you doing? So the link is pinned. If someone wants to talk about this topic. I don't usually go live this late. I don't know who's up. I don't know who's out there hitting links. I don't know. So this is a new thing for me. I've been live late, but I think I started during the election night, and I ended up staying up late. Anyway, with all that said, again, I am O Speaks. This is the video that I saw. You used to play games together? Okay, very cool, very cool. Smart. All right.
I got a lot to say. I don't know who the created Roblox, but you need your ass beat, and your ass needs to be locked the up, and the app needs to be completely gone away from the app store. Cannot download it anywhere, because let me tell y'all something. Do y'all not have some type of policy or some type of security or something for mothers to go through to play on this game? Why the I'm sitting here laying next to my son, editing on my phone, and he's spelling out. He's like, Mom, what does this say? I said, okay, spell it out. He's spelling it out. I'm not understanding what he's spelling, so I look over to see what the he's talking about. Why the I look over to my son's screen, and I see this shit. That is a motherfucking naked-ass character climbing onto the bed with the words at the top saying, take your clothes off. Then I caught another video. A naked character on top of another character spelling out a moan, talking about some Now, mind you, before I recorded the second video, the motherfucker was bouncing up and down on this character. Look, if y'all get in my motherfucking comments and y'all go against anything that I'm saying, or you don't agree with the way that I'm acting or agreeing with what I'm saying, you're a fucking problem, because in this household, I do not subject and expose my child to adult conversations or adult things. Period, point blank. Bottom line. This is disgusting. Then I said, let me go through this app. Mind you, my son can't read, okay? I'm going through the app. You get to the motherfucking chat. It's a motherfucker in here who's 23 years old calling 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds hot based off of the motherfucking character. Let me just read. The 23-year-old says, I may be poor, but in person I look so hot. This girl, her name's Lee. I ain't gonna even call out the thing, but she says, but I'm 12. He says, to be honest, I'm 13. JK, I'm 23, but don't tell anyone. The 23-year-old says, no, I'm sorry. The 12-year-old says, I'm 12, but what would you do if I would have been 10? The 23-year-old goes, I would still date with you. The 12-year-old goes, but are you for real? 13. He goes, yeah, JK, of course, I'm 23. She says, oh, you scared me. He says, so what's wrong with the age I'm at? It's about the beauty in you. Roblox, get it the fuck together. Please get it the fuck together. This is fucking sick. I'm fucking mind blown. And I'm coming from a place of being a parent who is scared of shit like this. Even though I have all boys, it can happen to boys and girls. But this shit right here, I'm disgusted. I'm honestly disgusted, and I just can't. So if you're a parent like me and you care about your kids and you care about what the they're being exposed to and you care about them being around and seeing other kids and just all of that shit, take the shit off of your son or daughter's laptop, computer, iPad, tablet, phone. Take it away from their screens. Period, point blank. I'm disgusted, and I cannot wait until his dad wakes up and I tell him this. My son is not in trouble, but now I have to explain to him that there are inappropriate things on this app that you're playing on and you can no longer play on it. That's my 2 cents. Roblox, get it the together.
Now, obviously you could see the problems with that. She's rightfully upset. And when I saw it, I wasn't as surprised as her because we monitor the my son's game, and then for a while my nephew was staying here. We would log in. I didn't know. No, I did not know that. Wow. No, I did not know that. That's crazy. Kim Kardashian's baby was playing Roblox, and I think her. Wow. Do you remember that? No, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about Roblox until my son started playing about a year or two ago. And it looks innocent enough because it's a kid's game until you start watching them play. I actually added my son. I made a character so I can play with him, so I can see what he's doing. Because I started seeing some weird, creepy looking, scary characters with lots of teeth and red eyes and stuff like that popping up on his suggestions or whatever. So I just wanted to see what was going on. So it also, he gets bored. So if his nephew or my nephew's not playing, or his other cousins aren't playing, I'll get on there with him and we'll play. I can see what's going on. So when my nephew was staying with us, we noticed his friends list was massive, and he had well over 100 friends. Okay, the problem is he doesn't know that many people. He didn't know that many people. So we started going, or myself and my wife started going through his friends list, and I noticed there were definitely some adults on there, several adults on his friends list. And how do I know that? When you go into the character, there's a place for a description. Little kids aren't putting descriptions in. These were very well articulated, well typed out descriptions. So as soon as that happened, I called all of my sisters and said, "Hey, check." And I told her, "I'll check your kids' Roblox and their friends' lists on their games. If they're playing any other open world games, it's going to be the same thing." So what's the other big one right now? There's a couple really big ones. There's Roblox is for really smaller kids. It's supposed to be. I can't remember any of the other ones. Dang it. They're games that I don't like because for different reasons I don't like them. They're kiddie games. Anyway, and you can see my son's friends list, and he had like 20. And he doesn't know that many. He's 6. So we went through, who's this? Who's this? Who's this? I don't know. Okay, we started deleting them. How you doing, Miss Phoenix? That's the reason I don't want my. So we'll get to that. So we went down the line, figured out who his cousins were, and then he had like 1 or 2 kids from church in there, and then I think 1 from school. Okay, we deleted everybody else, and we told him, "Hey, you cannot add any friends to your Roblox." And he's done really good. I think he's added like 1 since this was almost a year ago. But either way, he still added 1. So you have to audit. And I was actually auditing today after I saw this video, and he had only added 1. I deleted it. Wasn't a big deal. But when my nephews and nieces, when I looked at their list, because you can see who they have friends with, one of them had over 700 friends. Right? There's no way he knows who these people are. Another one had, I think it was 80, 79, I think it was. So we'll just say 80. He's got 80 friends. He doesn't know that many people. These kids don't know that many people. look, the point of this is look at their friends list. Again, that's where I started seeing the adults, and I'm looking at the descriptions, and I'm like, deleting them. So when she started saying, there's kids in the chat, uh, Taryn the Black did a live the other day talking about censorship in video games, and I made a comment. I never got to clarify, but I said I'm open to making the default in chats so that you had to activate it. And this is the reason why. Because when I was going through the kids' friends list, you can see the chat, and the chat's pretty active in there. And there are clearly people in there who aren't kids. Let's just say that. So she discovered a 23-year-old in a chat playing Roblox with little kids. Like, that game maybe up to 15, maybe, probably closer to 12. That's who should be playing that game. It's a really, really, really kiddie, digitized graphics. Like, it's just not. It's not. It's not a. It's not a game that older kids should be interested in. And if they are, again, monitor what they're doing. No, I didn't see. Did you see when a grown pervert tried to meet up with a kid he met on Roblox? No. See, that's stuff has to happen to people like those. Anyone who does stuff like that, they need to be made an example of. And I'm not sure that would even help, but just thinking about it starts getting me annoyed. But yeah, so when we went through the friends list, we found all these people on their lists. I let their parents know, my sisters know, and said, "Hey, make sure you check." They did it, and everyone started auditing. I don't think there's anything more important than doing that, because again, you don't know who's reaching out to your kids. You don't know who's friend requesting them. You don't know who's chatting with them in the game. My son was playing the other day, and he's talking to somebody. I'm like, "Who is that?" And then he said his cousin's name. I was like, "Oh, okay." Every now and then, just do that. Just check on them, see what they're doing. It's crazy how the lengths that these creeps will go to try and talk to your kids, and you want to be there to at least try and catch it. So going back to Miss Phoenix comment, not allowing them to be on electronics. I've seen that done, and I'm not saying that it's a bad thing or a good thing, but I've seen that done to where it created an essential crackhead. And I'm not going to say any names. How you doing, writers? I'm not going to say any names, but it created a kid who was a monster when it came to electronics. Like, they would really be fiending over it, and they would like, oh, that's a comment. And they would be like, as soon as they see you, can I use your phone? Can I use your phone? Can you? And it's like, whoa, relax. What is going on? It's because they had no access. So I think there's a fine line between restricting and then just monitoring when they are on an electronic. Because again, I'm not knocking it. I understand 100% why you would do it. I just know that creates a monster. There's a reason why Catholic schoolgirls have a reputation, right? That's kind of off, but they get restricted, and typically they're separated, and they just have more of an interest. So you're actually creating more of an interest than I think the intended purpose is, which you don't need to be around boys, right? With electronics, it's very similar because they're already addicting. So I prefer to allow it, put limitations on it, make sure they do daily chores or whatever before they can access it. And then also jumping on with them. It's not fun, but it's fun to them, especially in this day and age. I talked about this on somebody else's panel. I don't remember. It may have been Miss Selena's. Kids love watching YouTubers play video games. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know how anyone can watch that unless you know the person. Like, there's people that I'll watch, but I don't know the person to watch. It's interesting watching little kids, like my kid. When my nephew was living here, he lived with us for 3 years. They will sit there for hours and just watch another person play video games. I'm like, okay, I guess. But I had to listen to what they're saying. So if there's any even close to cursing, like, what the, not next. And they know when I say next, they have to skip it, because it's building these habits to where your kid, next thing you know, you tell your kid to do something, and he goes, what the, and then, no, I don't do that. I don't play that. I appreciate that. She said, love the fact that you're touching on this topic. A lot of people don't want to touch it because they play the games. Yeah, I play too. I play too. What I started doing is having my son watch me play games also. He's watching them anyway, right? So watch me play. And like I said, one of his older sisters created an account. His mom created an account. So if he wants to really play, and none of his cousins are online, he doesn't have that many friends on there, but none of his cousins are online. He'll say, "Do you want to? Can you play with me?" Sure, of course. We get on. It's better than him going on and playing with complete strangers who are trying to add a little kid to their friends list. And it was so clear that some of these people were adults when I started going through the descriptions. I'm like, oh man, yeah, absolutely. Dantana, what's going on, man? He said it's creepy that a 50-something-year-old man would play Roblox, which is me. Exactly. And then, like I said, when I created the account to play with my son, I'm like, ugh, it's so boring. But he's having a blast. He's just killing me back and forth, and it's like, all right. It does nothing for me. But like I said, I'm learning how to play. I'm asking him questions. He thinks he's teaching me how to game, right? This is called a dummy character, NPC. Like, I know all of this. I game. We're in a server. He's like trying to teach me stuff. It's pretty cool. It's funny watching him learn to articulate, and it's really cool watching him get things right. He'll say words that I'm like, what does that mean? And he'll get it right. I'm like, oh, okay. So it is teaching him motor skills for sure. And I think it's teaching him about electronics, which I think is important because we are in that age. I wouldn't fully restrict, but like I said, I completely understand people who restrict their kids from playing video games or electronics. Just know on the back end of that, you're gonna have a kid who's really into it because they see all their friends at school on them, and they're watching them. They're, oh, that's interesting. And then when they get an opportunity, they don't want to let up on that. So it's we all need to figure out how to do it, which is why I dropped the link to see if anybody else has anything that they do differently. As Just Jay said, my daughter and I played together. I will cuss all the kids out. We're not going to lose that. The cool thing about that is it creates a competitiveness, which is good for kids because a lot of kids are just lazy and we're also in the age of participation trophies. So there's nothing wrong with competitiveness. Now, what we are dealing with, because my kid's a boy, he has anger issues. So we're working with him on that. He does not like to lose. But again, that's part of growing up. He plays soccer also, he plays basketball. He doesn't like to lose, which nobody likes to. That's a good thing. And I think it speeds up some lessons that aren't bad. Let's see, it said, I was talking about old gaming content creators. No. I didn't take it like that at all. I was talking about the guys playing Roblox, like the creeps that are literally on there trying to game. And I'm like, nah, we ain't doing this. No, yeah, I didn't take it any kind of way, man. I just thought it was like, ugh, I can't believe there are people older than 10, 11 playing this because it's so simple. And it's just not interesting to me. He was watching me play. He's always watched me play Star Wars Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2. He's watched me play GTA. I used to have to turn down the volume when I played GTA. He's watched me play, let's see, Star Wars Outlaws. He's watched me play, what's the other Star Wars game? Survivor. He watched me play Jedi Survivor. He's watched me play Indiana Jones more recently. So he just likes watching, and he absolutely likes playing. Cool. He's got a little Switch. He's really into games, and again, he likes figuring out things. He likes tinkering. Watching his little hands on the iPad is hilarious. I'm just watching him do all this. I'm like, all right, okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm ready for GTA 6. I'm definitely ready for that. It is. I swear, the older generation is attached to Roblox because it's similar to Sims. It's open world though. That creates a whole different monster. because you're now playing with other people. Sims was a single player game. I used to play Roller Coaster Tycoon back in the day. You can create amusement parks. I I'm a gamer. I've been playing games since Unreal Tournament in '98. Before that, I was playing console games. I was playing Zelda, Mario, all those old Duck Hunt, going way back, Centipede. But yeah, so I've been gaming forever, my whole life. I just now these kids are growing up with it differently. It's not as rare. It's accessible everywhere, whether they're using your phone or they're using an iPad or they're watching it again on YouTube. We need to monitor. You really need to monitor that because it's adults. And again, I'll play this video again for those of you who weren't in here, so you can see where this is coming from. It's pretty wild, pretty wild. And again, if anyone wants to hit the link and say what they do or what they think about this video after I play it, it's like, this is wild.
I got a lot to say. I don't know who the created Roblox, but you need your ass beat, and your ass needs to be locked the up, and the app needs to be completely gone away from the app store. Cannot download it anywhere, because let me tell y'all something. Do y'all not have some type of policy or some type of security or something for mothers to go through to play on this game? Why the I'm sitting here laying next to my son, editing on my phone, and he's spelling out. He's like, "Mom, what does this say?" I said, "Okay, spell it out." He's spelling it out.
Oh, and hit like if you haven't hit like yet. I started putting that on my presentation, so I remember to say it because I don't say it enough. Hit like, subscribe, please, if you're new here. Thank you.
I'm not understanding what he's spelling, so I look over to see what he's talking about. Why the I look over to my son's screen and I see this shit. That is a motherfucking naked ass character climbing onto the bed with the words at the top saying, "Take your clothes off." Then I caught another video. A naked character on top of another character spelling out a moan, talking about some Now, mind you, before I recorded the second video, the motherfucker was bouncing up and down on his character. Look.
So just that. Another thing I noticed in Roblox is because it's open world and open format, people can create their own servers and do whatever they want in those servers. So you got to watch the servers that your son or daughter have visited, and you can do that. There's a history, and I should have brought his iPad up here. There's a history in there where you can see what they're consuming, and what made us even look at that was actually YouTube. My nephew is a little older, but he was really scared, and it's like, what is going on with, like, he would just be scared, and he was too old to act that way. So when he had to go upstairs to go to bed with my son, we would wake up and he would be downstairs or at the foot of our bed, and it's like, what's going on? Like, we need to figure out what's going on. So I started listening to when they're playing the game, and I would hear you can hear music when it's supposed to be scary, right? They have the screeches and the weird sounds. That's where I caught that he was watching scary stuff on YouTube. So I looked at his iPad and I saw a lot of stuff that is designed to make you jump, to make little kids jump. And when I saw that, I started noticing the same types of characters in Roblox. Not necessarily while they're playing, but on the walls. There's pictures on the walls of like scary stuff, like pitch black faces with sharp teeth and bright big eyes that clearly are intended to terrify little children, which to me is, again, that's weird that that's your goal if you're making a game or creating a server. But they started like really liking these games, and you can hear them when they're off to the side. You'll hear them both scream, and it's like, what are you doing? Stop screaming. I don't like boys screaming anyway, so that would really annoy me. And I'd go over, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. And you could tell when a kid's lying. So I would look at the what they're doing, and they're watching literal videos of just kids being scared. So again, checking their servers that they're going in, definitely checking their friends list. Clean it out. If you don't know who these people are, delete them. You don't need to know who they are. They don't need friends at that age. Honestly, even up to my nephew's 10, he didn't need all those friends. He had right now he's got like 70 something. So I called his mom, hey, you need to check his list and delete these people. What's going on, IB? Because you don't know who your kids are online with. On YouTube, same thing. We check the history. I started blocking channels when it was like I would hear. Okay, so there's YouTube Kids, and then there's regular YouTube. YouTube Kids is overly for a 10-year-old is overly cautious, right? So we would give them access to regular YouTube, but we would still tell them you can't watch scary stuff, right? And again, I would just audit his YouTube, go through, what is this? Why are you watching this? And if we catch you watching something scary again, you're going to lose your iPad. You won't have it for whatever, the day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever it was, depending on how many times we went over it. Eventually, he started complying, but I would start having to delete and block specific content creators where that's all they do. And eventually it'll stop showing up on your kids' suggested feed, because that's where they really get into trouble. Because kids, they don't have an attention span. They will watch shorts and stuff like that, but it was always something scary. And then they would take that and go to Roblox and play that when it's something scary. And it's like, oh, okay. So YouTube's literally influencing. These people are literally influencers, obviously. So it's working. They're influencing the kids to go play these games. And then they just get terrified for no reason. So YouTube is a big, big, big one. We're on here right now talking about it, so that's cool. But if your kids are doing something that's affecting their home, there's something wrong. It's too much. You can't handle it. Some kids can handle it. I used to watch Nightmare on Elm Street, Hellraiser, Friday the 13th. There was everything. I never had an issue with being scared of stuff. Some of my sisters did not like Chucky and stuff like that. They couldn't handle it. So some kids can handle it. Just be mindful and just know what they're watching. Because again, it's going to carry over to when they're playing Roblox. They're going to find those servers, and you're going to have these creepy looking things walking around, threatening your kids, and you didn't know unless you check. You won't know unless you check. It's terrifying seeing all these strangers on your kids' friends list. It's like, oh yeah, this is not good. And the first reaction is to, I'm taking this away. But again, I think that's creating a different type of monster on the back end, because this is just what it is. You can't avoid electronics forever.
If y'all get in my motherfucking comments and y'all go against anything that I'm saying, or you don't agree with the way that I'm acting or agreeing with what I'm saying, you're a fucking problem. Because in this household, I do not subject and expose my child to adult conversations or adult things.
Nope.
Period, point blank. Bottom line. This is disgusting. Then I said, let me go through this app. Mind you, my son can't read, okay? I'm going through the app. You get to the motherfucking chat. It's a motherfucker in here who's 23 years old calling 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds hot based off of a motherfucking character. Let me just read. Let me just read. The 23-year-old says, I may be poor, but in person I look so hot. This girl, her name's Lee. I ain't gonna even call out the thing, but she says, but I'm 12. He says, to be honest, I'm 13. JK, I'm 23, but don't tell anyone. The 23-year-old says, no, I'm sorry. The 12-year-old says, I'm 12, but what would you do if I would have been 10? The 23-year-old goes, I would still date with you. The 12-year-old goes, but are you for real? 13. He goes, yeah, JK, of course, I'm 23. She says, oh, you scared me. He says, so what's wrong with the age I'm at? It's about the beauty in you. Roblox, get it the fuck together.
And it's again, a lot of this starts on YouTube because they don't know where to go on these games. YouTube videos will tell them where to go to find whatever games. And it's a very interesting thing that how they're marketing this stuff to kids. But going back to what I said on Tearing the Black's panel, when I said I would be open to censorship on open world games chats, and to me, it's a simple fix. Just make the default that you can't hear anybody and you can't see the online chat. You have to activate that because I think most kids won't do that. But one of the reasons outside of the killing and all that on GTA, why I would have to turn it down, because if you're not wearing headphones, you can hear everybody in the lobby and they're cursing and they're saying racist stuff. It's out of control. It's okay for adults, but kids should not hear that kind of stuff. That's not the only game like that, though. There's a lot of games, if it's open world, you can hear the chat because people can log into the lobby and just speak and say whatever they want to say. I'm open to that kind of censorship because to me, it's not really censorship. It's just changing what you automatically hear when you log into the game.
Please get it the together. This is fucking sick. I'm fucking mind blown, and I'm coming from a place of being a parent who is scared of shit like this. Even though I have all boys, it can happen to boys and girls. But this shit right here, I'm disgusted. I'm honestly disgusted, and I just can't. So if you're a parent like me and you care about your kids and you care about what the fuck they're being exposed to and you care about them being around and seeing other kids and just all of that shit, take the shit off of your son or daughter's laptop, computer, iPad, tablet, phone. Take it away from their screens. Period, point blank. I'm disgusted, and I cannot wait until his dad wakes up and I tell him this shit. My son is not in trouble, but now I have to explain to him that there are inappropriate things on this app that you're playing on and you can no longer play on it. That's my 2 cents. Roblox, get it the together.
So that's what sparked this whole conversation for those of you who came in a little bit later. At that age, for sure, I think I would. I think she said he's 3. He doesn't need anything. And then you can control at that age. You can't read 3-4 years old. He can't. You can control his YouTube. You can control everything. But as they start getting a little bit older, like my son's been able to read for a while now since he's been reading for a long time. So there's a little bit more there. And again, they start having friends who played and the friends add them. You just have to make sure that that's who it is. Because this goes back to a couple lives ago when I said they're coming for your kids. They really are. It's not a joke. It's not hyperbolic. It's not rhetoric. It's real. It just made me think of something on my Twitter, on my X feed. He came up for 1 second real quick. You don't have to stay on. Okay. You can calm down. I'll bring you up. How you doing, young lady?
Blessings. How you doing?
I'm
chilling. Damn, man, you brought in a little touchy subject for money, man.
Yes.
If you're willing to speak on this, and listen, I love the fact that you bought it, right? And what's crazy is that Roblox was the trendsetter for everything. Then came Minecraft, then came Fortnite. Yep. And
Fortnite, that's the one I was trying to think of earlier. Fortnite, that's another
it's
really
the most popular trending right now. That was the last one.
Yeah,
that came out as an open world game. Like,
so there's other ones out there. The issue more. Yeah, the issue is right now the younger kids are still on Roblox and Minecraft. I think I think that's the order they go in. They go from Roblox to Minecraft, and then they start the real shooter.
Fortnite.
Games. Yeah.
And like the unfortunate part about it is, right, I feel as though it starts with the parents, like you said. Like, listen, I'm gonna sit here and be honest. I learned from my first 2. All right, like in the beginning, I didn't know. We wasn't given a manual, but my baby daddy, my first baby daddy, may he rest in peace, right? The father of my first 2 kids. my firstborn, he put a video game on his face when he was 3 years old. See, I didn't mind the Nintendo, I didn't mind the Xbox. Where my situation started was when he went into school. You see where I'm coming from? Yet I wasn't allowing him to be on YouTube. So he wasn't allowed into social media, none of that. But when he started going into school, the issue was he was introduced to Roblox.
Yep.
So it was downloaded onto his, I think the first thing that his dad gave him was an iPad or some shit like that. I think it was the first little thing he had that he had handheld. And they downloaded that app on his thing. I didn't know what it was at first, and I was like, he's like, it's just a game. He was playing that little John. I let him play for a while, and then I started hearing. I'm like, I don't know, world. I'm like, because he was already reading. My son, by the time he was in school, he was reading. He's autistic. So, crazy part about it is I'm hearing him read these chats, and I'm listening. I'm like, what is you talking? I'm like, is you talking to yourself? What is? He's like, no, mom, I'm talking to people. I was like, what people? He's like, I'm allowed to. I'm like, you can chat on these games. Mind you, I come from the Nintendo.
Yep.
Yo, mind you, I was stuck on stupid the first time. I'm saying, I was like, wait a minute, you could talk to people from like different places. He's like, yes, mom. So I'm looking. I was like, son, I don't think these are kids. He's like, yes, they are. We had a whole argument until I had to come across. I was like, son, what does that say? You asked how old this person was. What did they say? 18, 20 years old. I was like, baby boy, you're only 7, 8 years old. These kids are 10, 12 years old doing things that you don't even do right now. So that was the whole argument in the beginning. All right, to the point where I had to link everything. That's how I started off. But then I have an autistic son, so I want to remind parents, a lot of them are into coding and they're real smart. All right. My son was doing decrypted messages, and I didn't know about that. And that was recently, before, like a few years back. Like I'm gonna say, like, what was it, 3 years ago? A lot of people know the story. I went online, I brought awareness to the situation. You see where I'm coming from? Because I didn't even know what a decoded message was. So I'm thinking I'm seeing everything that's going on in these games and in these chats, but I really wasn't, because some of these messages, only the people that were sending it to each other could see it. Mind you, he was already taking coding classes in high school when he was in it. He was in a private school. So one of the classes that he took was coding. I mean, not coding. Is it not coding? What is it called when you
programming?
No, it's like they can hack. They learn how to do all that shit with the computer, the numbers. How they could open softwares and get into people. All that shit. What is it called? Decrypting? I don't know what it's called. But they were encrypted. There you go, cryptic messages. They were cryptic messages. So it was hard for me. I didn't know what was going on until I got into his computer and I got rough on him. So unless we catch these things on time. So mind you, I've been bringing awareness to this already. What's it been? 3 years, almost 4 years already onto YouTube. And that's why I was like, yo, you bringing something that's very touchy, because some of the people I've come to realize after 3 years, they feel some type of way because of this topic, because they play the games themselves. Yeah. But we need to sit here and realize, as parents, we got kids, we got 50, 40-year-old motherfuckers out here, and we're asking why they playing. We know why. Because you got to realize at the end of the game, these games is easy access for them. These are games that are meant for kids, yes. We're asking, why does it draw the attention of a 50-year-old? Why would a 50-year-old be online chatting with an 8-year-old? Because they're predators.
Yep.
Access for them. You got to realize that not the internet, but social media and these platforms have made it easier for the predators to come in touch with our kids. And that's how we have to.
Yeah, and YouTube is the biggest social media that everyone has access to. It's not like my kid's going to be on IG or Facebook or anything like that.
It's the biggest search engine.
Exactly.
Second to Google.
It's literally Google.
But if you look it up, it's second to Google as a search engine.
Yep, because you can see direct video, you don't have to read it. So as we get older and lazier, that's just what we do. But what you said about there's a lot of parents who think, and I was guilty of it. Well, wait a minute, I played the most violent video games ever. I played Unreal Tournament, I played GTA. There's blood, there's all this, and we tend to dismiss it, but we fail to realize that when we started playing games, there was no online access. This is a completely different world. Now, PC gaming, you've always been able to do chatting, going all the way back. And I used to do that, but that's not what these kids are doing. And they have access to the world right now. We didn't have that kind of access back in the day. So I think that's why people defend it. They don't think it all the way through. Yeah.
Because when my son had access, I'm thinking it's a regular game. Like, you could download this onto an iPad or phone, like, you know, them regular little games. I wasn't thinking that it was something where people was coming to chat and link up and they could make their own games. See, it drew my son's attention because he was autistic and he could make his own little worlds there, build houses from bricks and, you know, make his own little gameplays and stuff like that. And what's crazy is, right, when he got into high school, it's something that he was doing. They taught him how to make games. I don't know how to call it. All right, I'm not going to call it.
I know what you're talking about.
Right? It's hard for me to break down because I'm not. Listen, I don't like games. You said you took it to the point where you sat and played with your son, right? It's a son, right? You got, all right,
that I can jump on with him.
All right. With me, everybody's like, why don't you sit and play with them? I was like, yo, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Games frustrate me. They irritate me. I cannot watch people play games. Like, if it was a Nintendo game, I wouldn't mind sitting here playing with them. But these games, I do not understand. So I can't find a connection with my boys. You see where I'm coming from? And it's not because I'm a woman. It's because I hate games, point blank, period. We could sit and watch movies all day. We could play video games on a console. But I will not sit here and play no goddamn Fortnite.
Do they have cousins or do they have cousins or somebody that they can play with?
Oh man, my boys are older now.
Oh, okay. So
I got an 18-year-old and a 15-year-old.
So what my son and what my nephew, what they do is they get on FaceTime so that it avoids the chat.
That's what my 15-year-old does. Because his best friend and his sister's cousin, and they play online. Sometimes he'll get on that joint with his godmom. I look at her, I was like, yo, you 40 years old. You really playing 2-3 hours with these kids? Like, I like it. I was like, I can't. She's like, I'll be on this joint, I'll be chatting. She's like, I'll be talking to them like they're my kids. I was like, oh, you got that. I was like, I can't.
Yep. And I grew up on it.
I can't.
I started like PC gaming way back in '98, like way back. So I've always done it. And even if I don't like the game, like I said, as long as he's having fun, all he does is we go into one of his servers and he just kills me over and over and over. And I try to do stuff, I have no chance. He's that
one of his servers.
And, he's got his own server. I'm like, they make these games so that it's non-stop microtransactions. It's very interesting. It's genius what they do. I mean, this boy is asking us for money every 10 minutes. It's like, nope, you ain't getting no money. You didn't earn it. I just need $1. Nope. And it's all microtransactions. What's going on, Slim? It's all microtransactions, so it's over and over and over and over. Oh, you can have early access to this new skin, so that your character can look like Optimus Prime, and it's a perfect target for little kids, and that's him.
Let me ask you this, Adam. Right, Australia came up with a bill and a law, right, that anybody under the age of 16 cannot access social media. Right, I don't know how they make it come into place because you know how the kids are here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we was like them at one point. All right, we can't do this. We're gonna find a way to get to it. But these kids are smarter than us on some real shit when it comes to these,
they really are.
Internet and games, right? But how do we implement that in America if we was to do it, right? And I'm not gonna say do y'all they agree with me that we should do this because a lot of people is on, it's going to be a half and half, and it's not a debate. But I feel as though it's a good idea. Like anybody under 16 should not be on Facebook or any platform where they allow these type.
The problem is they're going to find something, because my son at like 1 knew how to swipe and do things. I don't know how he could grab your phone and swipe through and find his little Baby Shark or Peppa Pig. Like, he could literally navigate an iPhone at like 1 year old. I'm like, this is insane. This is who they are. Detaching them is only going to put them behind, especially when we're trying to get your kids to go into STEM.
Well, it's too late to take that away from the kids because we're already in the AI era.
Yeah, I don't see how a ban would help. I don't see how it would work.
It's
my my nephew was really sneaky, so we started catching him still going into YouTube channels that he wasn't supposed to go on. What he would do was he would try to delete his history. It's like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. Then after we caught him doing that, he would start logging in as a guest. So really, they're going to find a way. And
always
they're when it comes to electronics, these kids starting at 6, 7, 8 years old are smarter than most of their parents when it comes to logging on to stuff. I don't see how that would work. IB said he still plays. Yeah, I do too, man. I do too. I'm waiting for GTA 6. I'll be on it. I'm Battlefield 6. I'm gonna be on it. The difference is like when I'm gonna have headphones on because I chat with people back home in Chicago and across the country when we play. But he's not gonna hear me cursing. He may hear me yelling. But he's gonna be able to play his games. I just need to hear who he's talking to. And because if I don't hear who he's talking to, if I don't hear who you're talking to, I'm gonna ask. And I literally audit. I just go to his connections and I audit. And I think
that's the reason.
Just did that would be really good.
That's the reason why I don't like games. Like, yo, listen, man, everybody screaming and shouting, man. Listen, that discouraged me from playing games when I was young. I could listen. That'd be one of the things too. Is listen.
But that's boys being
I can't
boys.
do it.
Yeah. So if we were in Chicago, I probably wouldn't allow him on as much. But because most of my family is in Chicago or Phoenix, and that's who he plays with, he gets a little bit more leeway. This is what IB said this is the most important part. The scary part is them being sneaky because you really don't know what they're doing. And in this house, we try to encourage, hey, if you do something wrong, let us know, especially at school. Like when we pick them up from school, if you got in trouble, you better be the one to tell me. Because if I hear from a teacher, is on, like, you really gonna get in trouble. So what that does is it just gets them used to, hey, can I tell you something? This is what my son says. Like, yeah, you can tell me something. And then he'll tell me he had a bad day at school or whatever. Cool. We don't punish over that unless it's really bad, but usually it's not that bad. But what that does is when they get at home, you start asking them, hey, who are you playing the game with? Can I tell you something? Yes. Okay, I'm playing with somebody I'm not supposed to be playing. Okay, delete them. Let me see. What are you doing? Where are you? What YouTube channel are you watching? I go and I even delete. I don't just delete the history. I'll block some of the channels that I don't want them to watch, and then I will clear their list because a lot of them, they subscribe to stuff. Just look at their subscriber list and you can see really what they're watching, and it's scary. It really is scary. If you don't pay, if you're not on it, they really have access to things. Yeah.
And that's why, like, when it comes to my daughter, right, like I said earlier, I learned from my first 2 kids, right? And now, like, she's 8. She don't have her own email. She do not have no social media. You see where I'm coming from? She does have the phone, right? But her YouTube is my YouTube, which means that if I see something I don't like, I'll do the exact same thing. Listen, I bumped heads with somebody the other day. They're like, because it's, they related. So I had told the mom of her cousin, like, yo, like, why you got your daughter with her own TikTok, right? Because I just found out about this. My daughter was watching a video. I was like, wait, she's got her own TikTok? Does her mom know? She's like, yeah, she's allowed to go live and everything by herself. And she showed me the videos. I was like, oh, snap. So I went and said something to the mom. She was like, oh, you can't tell me what to do. I'm raising my child. I'm like, look, I wasn't telling you what to do. All I'm saying is that, like, monitor her, be with her, or make the videos with her. Like, she's only 7.
Yeah.
So let's be real.
The problem is there are kids that are 5, 6, 7 that are they make millions of dollars off of TikTok videos and YouTube channels. And that's really what my son
kids
watches.
Don't, the parents do.
Well, yeah, the parents will make it, but the kids are the content creators. The kids are the content creators. So my son, while he's watching these videos, I'm like, man, I need to get him a channel because he's just narrating. I'm like, he's really good. He's really funny. He's so smart. So smart.
Yeah.
So there's potential there for, like, they're watching this happen. They see nothing wrong with it. As long as we do a better job of managing it's not as big of a deal.
But it's how we doing it. Like, we've been talking about this for the longest. It starts from home. We're expecting for a sky daddy to drop from the damn sky, and he ain't coming.
Nope.
On some real shit. He not coming. So a lot of people gonna be sitting down waiting for somebody to come save them, when in reality we need to take our own lead and then figure out how we can help others. But we're not taking care of home first, and that's the issue that we're having. So like your kid could be a good apple, but your kid could, once he's little now, but once he's gonna get older, it's like my boys. He's gonna have friends. They're gonna want to go to the park. They want to go swimming. They want to go to the movies. You see, in little groups. Sometimes they might be loners, because I got one that's a loner and I got the other one that's in little groups. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So I got the best of both worlds. So it's like we have to sit here, and people fail to realize we have to be detectives in their lives. We have to monitor every step. And I get it, like some people got a lot of things to do, but that don't mean that fail. Like that's where we're failing at. We're not talking to them. We're not guiding them. We're like, you're sitting here telling your child this, right? Other parents don't do that. We're failing to have these conversations. So while you're having a good apple, there's bad apples out there because of the neglect of the parent. And it's not full neglect, all right? It's just that they're neglecting to instill something in their child. You see where I'm coming from? They could be,
complete ignorance. They just don't know what it's doing. So
there you go. You can probably
monitoring it. Yeah, monitoring it is the most important thing, which is why I wanted to make this live and just say, hey, there's other ways to allow your kid to do stuff that you don't want them to do.
Exactly.
But because they're going to do it anyway, and this is just video games. I'm not talking about anything else, just video games. If it were up to me, I probably wouldn't let him play. But again, because most of his family is in Chicago and Phoenix, he's the only one here now, and my nephew moved back with his mom in Chicago, so it's just he would lose more contact with them. You know what I mean? And I don't want that either. So they still need that relationship. So
I went through the 3 trends. The one with Roblox, then I went through it with Minecraft, I went through it with Fortnite, then finally I was like, look, listen, man, it doesn't matter what it is. I take one away, they find another one. Listen, when I took Roblox away from my first one, he came up with Minecraft. All right, I'm thinking, I was like, I didn't see nothing, the little chat like you was talking. Then I learned, oh, you could disable the chat. So I was like, oh, you played me for the second time. Yeah. I should have learned from the second time with Fortnite when he got into Fortnite. No, my dumb ass ain't learned. So when I had the second one, I was like, oh, now I know what to do.
Yeah. Audio
as crazy
chat,
as it is.
What, like IB said, audio chat is a problem.
Yeah. And then Fortnite is the
default
worst.
is that it's on. Yeah, exactly. As they get older, it just gets worse. But audio chat is no joke, because again, if they have headphones, you can't hear anything. You have no idea what these crazy people, and some of the meanest, most racist kids are on there just saying whatever they've heard, and they're insulting each other and they're cursing, and it's like, I'm not exposing my son to this. No headphones. So as he gets older, he ain't wearing no headphones. I need to hear what's going on while you're playing this game, because we're not doing this. It ain't happening.
You don't want to hear it. Like, listen, I had to take that from my child. Like you said, I had to monitor, see what server she gets in. And what's crazy, it doesn't matter what server you're in, after a little while and the servers get full, because they do get, people start coming in. I didn't even know that in the beginning. But I'm watching my daughter, because now she's like, she got into the habit with Roblox because of her brother. You see where I'm coming from? Mm-hmm. That's why it's like, I'm not worried about the outside. They find a way to get entertained with each other. Like, I raised them to that, like to do that, like not depend. How can I say, be there for one another?
Yeah, and that's why my son. Oh yeah, absolutely. My son's 6, and he came to me asking for a server. And you know what his reasoning was? Again, he's 6. He goes, I was like, what do you need a server for? He's like, it's only $9.99, because he has no idea what money means. I was like, $9.99 for what? He's like, I could have my own server. I was like, well, why don't you play in the other servers? He said, they're too toxic.
So they're not
6 years old. He said, no, they're too toxic. So the good thing about the reason why I was like, okay, fine. The good thing is all of the kids, all of his cousins, and very few friends, they all jump on his server, and that gets rid of the outside influence. Doesn't mean they're not going to let some kids in, but it's better that it's his server. He has total control. Yeah, I mean, that boy, he literally said it's too toxic. I'm like, you got to be kidding. And he's a lot like me. So in GTA, I don't know where he got this from, Yeah, he's really smart. In GTA, if somebody kills me, I'll ask them to stop. If they kill me again, I will hunt you down and just keep. I will make you leave the server. I will add you as a friend. You don't have to accept. I will follow you to the next server you go to. And he's got that from me. I know he does because I've heard him saying, I'm about to cook this fool. I'm like, what did you just say? I've heard him say some crazy stuff. I'm like, this boy is like, he didn't get that from me. I think part of it's YouTube, and he's just, the boys are all always on there on FaceTime chatting.
No, these kids are just born roasters.
I'm like, oh no. Yeah, that's funny.
They're born roasting or something. Like, I swear to God, like, I be hearing the two boys ever since they were little. I'm like, what did y'all say to each other? Like, no, Mom, he deserved that. Don't interrupt us, right? I'm like, who you talking to? Nobody. And they'll keep playing. I'm like, hey, what? I'm like, what I just go through?
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know what you going through.
Yeah, I have to break mine up. They're always fighting. I'll hear them arguing. I'm like, what is going on? And I'll hear him saying that this other dude, one of his nephews or one of my nephews is terrible. I'm like, you can't be saying stuff like that. You're being mean. There's no reason to be mean. And then he'll ban them from the server, and they start deleting each other, unfollowing each other.
Be roasting each other. That's why you made me laugh when he was like, I'm gonna cook this fool. I was like, oh, it sounds like my kids right there.
Yeah,
I was like, what you talking about? Like, nothing. I got him on the oven right now. I ain't gonna let him out until I win. I'm like, what you talking about? He's like, this is my game, Mom.
Yeah, they're wild. They're boys. So that's what they do. You just gotta rein it back every now and then because they go a little too far. Or my son goes too far. He starts
boys be boys.
Hey man, you can't be saying stuff like that. What's wrong with you?
No. The funny part is my daughter, she look, I gained a little weight. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Since I got my accident, I didn't even know what a big back was until not so long ago. I was like, what you called me? She's like, you a big back. I was like, a big back? I'm like, what?
Yeah,
I got a
big
back?
Like, yeah, they hear that on YouTube.
I'm like, what is a big back? She's like, somebody that's fat. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, I ain't fat. I'm chubby right now, but fat. I was like, fat is somebody that can't even walk, man. I'm not no roly-poly and only. I can move these two legs. And I can look down, bend down, squat. I was like, if I was fat, well, let's be honest. But 400 pounds couldn't do that. I'm like, that's fat, baby girl.
Yeah,
I'm like, not 130.
I've heard him calling people trash. I've heard him saying he's gonna I can't remember, like one of them he really said something. I was like, all right, you gotta chill. I don't know what's going on. But that's when his solution to that was to say that, okay, can you get me a server? I'm like, oh jeez. Yeah, but it works out, like I said, because now it's more isolated. Yeah, they're not.
I know what you're talking about. The boys do it upstairs, and I swear to God, it'd be funny, especially when they use the scary movie phrases to come at each other. I was like, one day I woke up, what's up? Real loud upstairs. I'm like, what's going on? We just played. I'm like, what? I'm like screaming, what's all of them at once? It's the funny part. One in the front room, one in the middle room, and the other one down here. I was like, no, y'all didn't.
Yeah,
and I don't know what happened. I'm like, they said some funny thing. I think the bull with the snow hand from Scary Movie, if I'm not mistaken, he said some funny shit. I'm like, yo, y'all don't know what y'all saying.
Nope, they don't.
But it's funny though.
Yeah, like, they reference a lot of older stuff that they don't know was older. That's always
funny. It's funny though.
Yeah.
And then the way they use it on each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is an interesting topic. Like, it's a great topic to bring awareness. I'm glad you did it. Like, we need to do a little more. Like, people took it as a joke a few years back when, you know, all these people, these predators were popping up on the news, right? They're like, oh, it's not happening on Roblox, it's not happening on Fortnite, but just because there were Minecraft predators, right? People wasn't saying nothing, doing nothing about it. But now it's surfacing how it's happening also on Fortnite and on Roblox. But it's been happening on Roblox for the longest. It's just that on Minecraft, for some reason, it's happening more.
There was this was when my son was like 1 or 2. There was a trend going on where and kids videos, and it was happening on YouTube. But in YouTube Kids, like in the middle of the video, like this creepy thing would pop up and like start telling kids to do. Let me see if I can find it. It was really, really scary. And I'm like, okay, that, and my reaction was to somebody else said, "Get the electronics out." In my mind, I'm like, okay, my son's never getting on YouTube because I was watching it. Let's see, I'm gonna look it up, and I don't remember how long ago it was, but it was just somebody was making really creepy videos, and then putting it in the middle of like a baby shark, and it would be like telling them to do something and harm themselves.
It was a challenge. Some kids were. It started off with the game from, I'm not sure if it's Roblox, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it is on Roblox. That Huggy Wuggy.
Was that it?
That little blue guy. Yeah, it started off with that, John. And
yeah,
then
they started infiltrating a lot of kids. Yeah, that was terrifying. I'm looking that up right now. I'm trying to remember.
It was real demonic. I know what you're talking. They did it with what was it? Peppa Pig, Dora the Explorer.
Yep, it would just pop up in the middle of the video and tell the kids to do something to their parents or do something to themselves. I'm like, wow.
Do something to themselves. Yeah. So they were making it seem like the characters were possessed, and then what happened was they were also doing it on the games. Whereas in Roblox, the company in Minecraft, along with Fortnite, had to step in and delete these games that were imitating the original games that were put in the servers.
Yep.
I think I'm saying it right?
Yes.
And they had to take them out. So on YouTube, what they were doing is they were using them as like Coco Melon, right? They made an imitation channel to it. All right. And then they did the same thing on Roblox, if I'm not mistaken. And so they was doing it with each one of them. And when the kids were playing the games and they were watching the videos, the out of nowhere, the possessed animation character or the possessed character from the game would sit here and tell them, well, you should go do this or you should go do that. And it turned into a challenge that the kids were doing. Kind of like the suicide challenge that, happened on TikTok that faded through time that nobody's talking about no more. Where, the kids were told to hang themselves, right? And kids were doing it.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm just looking, I can't find it. And it was a while back. All it's trying to show me is just kids monster, and that's definitely.
But you're not going to see much of it because they stepped in. YouTube, all the game, I don't know how to say it. The CEOs or whatever they are, I think it is, the people in charge of the platforms stepped in. They were told by a judge to remove.
That was really bad.
So we're not going to really, unless you see somebody reacting to it, you're not going to find much videos of it.
Yeah, but that one was terrifying. When I saw that, I was like, "Oh, you got these people."
I mean, really if the Supreme Court had to step in, it was deep.
Yeah, that was bad. I'm still trying to look for an example. Yep, there it is. Oh,
just saying, I'm skinny fat. I'm chubby.
Yep, this is it. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's it. Man, yeah. So Lou got it. Following contact. Yeah, see, yeah, that's wild. I understand and wish you could see it. So here it is, right here. Hold on, it's a short video. This is terrifying. When I saw this, I'm like, oh no. This was another time where I called all my sisters and told them, hey, I'm about to. I told them all, hey, and I sent this to them because this was wild. It was called the Momo Challenge. That's it.
Oh, I remember that. The Momo.
This here.
News 3 picked up on a couple of red flags this morning for parents. One involves a disturbing challenge called Momo. The other deals with some videos that have shown up on YouTube giving instructions on suicide to children, and they're popping up right in the middle of kids shows. The Momo challenge has been circulating across South and Central America as well as Europe. Its grotesque avatar was created by a Japanese artist who has nothing to do with Momo, which entices people to contact a WhatsApp address where they're challenged to follow instructions that can include hurting themselves or other people. Authorities in Spain, Argentina, Mexico, and others have already issued warnings to parents. Local child therapist Celine Liu says parents need to monitor what their children see online, especially when it's something like this.
For younger children, they may not understand what is suicide, but they may act those kind of harmful behavior out of their curiosity.
The avatar is also prevalent
That's
on
crazy.
YouTube, and Forbes is reporting similar looking characters have been spotted in online kids games like Roblox and Minecraft. CNN is also following reports of unrelated videos on YouTube and YouTube Kids that had to be pulled down. Parents complained their children's cartoons were interrupted by video of somebody edited into the middle of the program offering children instructions on committing suicide.
That's crazy.
YouTube issued a statement to a pediatrician who reported those videos that reads in part, "We appreciate people drawing problematic content to our attention and make it possible for anyone to flag a video." A tech expert says whether it's YouTube, Momo, or social media, parents need to be vigilant.
But how many people watching this have sat down and had the talk with their children about, what they're doing online, who they're communicating with, what they're sharing?
There are some online experts who suggest that Momo could be the work of hackers trying to get personal information, and the threat to children isn't that significant. Regardless, they are both good reminders to keep an open line of communication with your children and also maintain control over your child's computer or smartphone. Steve Wolford, News.
Yeah, that's when I saw that, and this was 6 years ago, so that makes perfect sense because my son was just like, he just came to us, and it's like, all right, he ain't never getting on any electronic. And then, obviously as you get older, you start thinking about stuff. Or as he got older, you start thinking about it. But it would just pop up in the middle of a Peppa Pig video telling kids to off themselves. I don't know what he's talking about, where that's just hackers trying to get information. They're literally telling kids to hurt their parents and themselves.
You took it to the very beginning. Now that I remember, yep, the Momo challenge started it all. Then came the Blue Well challenge, right? And then the Slender Man challenge, the Hot Water challenge, the Skull Breaker. Like, you got the choking game, the Tide Pod challenge. Then it reemerged again. You had the Momo challenge, but they started bringing it out as Peppa Pig, Blue's Clues, Dora the Explorer, and different characters. Coco Melon, Baby Sharks. This shit is going down in a whole damn.
And it's been here for a long time. That's why I wanted to go live. When I saw that video of that young lady, I'm like, okay, I need to go live. I don't usually get on this late.
You know what's crazy? The Momo challenge didn't really start everything. Mama, put the volume down. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, she got that on. I don't want you to get it. All right, no, she did it. All right, the Momo challenge didn't start until the early 2019, right? So if the challenge, right, the Blue Whale challenge emerged in Russia around 2014 to 2016, right? How is it that the Momo challenge started first, right? Because after the Blue Whale challenge emerged, the Slender Man challenge came out, and before that, the Hot Water challenge started, which was 2013. So you're correct.
Yeah.
Oh shit! So these challenges haven't. So Hot Water challenge started it all. No, it didn't. 2007, the choking game. That's what started the challenges and these trending things that we're seeing right now. The suicide.
It was always gonna be. Yeah. As long as there's social media, you're going to have creeps. When we were younger, they used to say that there were people who would put razor blades and candy and apples and stuff on Halloween. Like, there's always been that threat. It's just visible now, and we can see after the fact, oh, wow, there's a whole video of it. It's just what it is. I have this one on my X feed. These are the people who are out there trying to contact your kids. This one is crazy. I don't even know how this is possible. And there's no audio or anything. It's just a story. This guy who's on the registry, let me make sure there's no sound because it just plays music, somehow got a kid. That's insane to me. They're willing to do anything to get access to children. This guy, tier 1 offender, updated as of 2024, which means that's when he took that new picture. They got a baby. Like this kind of stuff is, there are adults out there that will do anything. And I did a live the other day, uh, something along the lines of they're coming for your kids. I'm really serious. Like this is not a joke. This is there are people out there who that's all they want to do. Is it's
It's
not
sick
good.
because I think a few months ago I did a live on a couple like that, right? And it's no bashing towards the community at all. It's just that some people within the community it's also sick, just like some straight people out here. You got, I mean,
Yeah,
are they straight though? When a man sits here and sexually abuses a child, or a woman sexually abuses a little girl, you see where I'm coming from?
yeah.
Like it is crazy that this couple adopted a child, and then as the child got a little older, they both sat here and started abusing the child, and they
Candace Owens
unalived that
just
child like
covered
that.
something like that. Yeah, Candace Owens just not just it was like 3 or 4 episodes back. She's going over Epstein, so it's really dark. But she talked about a guy. Ugh, a guy was he was abusing his daughters, 2 of them. The mother knew about it, and it was part of an arrangement that they had. It was really, really sick. One of the daughters unalived herself. The other one went to the police when she got old enough, and nothing really got done about it. This was in France, I think. Um, but yeah, these people they're out there, and if you don't think that they'll come for yours, you're making a mistake.
They everywhere. Like if y'all remember, they just went viral. The Menendez brothers, right?
Yeah,
Look what the
yeah.
father did to them, and he was somebody that was big out here. What was he in charge of the group Menudo? And people forgot the years. I even forgot because I was little when all that stuff was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like mind
I
you,
remember.
I heard more about O.J. Simpson than I knew about that.
Yeah.
Like so,
Well,
it's
they're
crazy.
coming back up. I think they may be eligible for retrial or to be
They kept
released or
getting
something like that.
denied.
It did? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they kept getting denied.
Oh no,
Um,
no, it's recent. Like as of like
oh, they got
the
new
last few
updates.
months, they're talking about that they may be eligible because there's new evidence and that they didn't
Hopefully
have
they give
before, or
it to
something
them
like that.
because
Yeah, that
they've
was
been in there
twisted.
too long. I mean, they need to release them, yeah, but some type of counseling and therapy, like that should be mandated.
Yeah. Back
Because of
then,
what they've been through, trauma, not just
back then it wasn't. Not that it wasn't taken seriously, but I don't think they understood the full effects of what that does to kids. So it's being looked at again. It's being looked at. My next live is going to be about online influencers, because they're really, really they have a following that's just insane. It doesn't make sense. Where you have
yo.
people who have 20 to 40, 30, 40, 50 million people following them. It's like, man, anything they say influences kids.
That's some real shit. I
Hmm.
mean, that's some facts. Like, I think somebody was talking to me. They want me to talk on a few influencers, but I really don't. I really don't touch on celebrities. Like, for real, I really don't touch on celebrities unless
Well,
I
I'll
have
be
to,
touching
like,
on. I'm going to be covering a couple of them on my next live for sure.
yeah. I mean, they wanted me to like go real hard into like DDG and what is it? DDG and I forget. I fucks with her. Man, how do I forget her name? Haley Bailey. Damn, because I knew her,
Mm,
but I didn't know about him until the scandal. Then they want
mm.
me to cover that Krishan situation with the blue face, but it's kind of like I get it, but these are the same things that we going through within our communities too. It's just that these people
Yeah,
carry. I don't even see why people follow them. Like I don't see the point in even following people for how can I say relationship goals, or how can I say to learn how to do something, like figure it out how to do yourself. We all got skills that we're good at, and we could do something with. But to
but
sit here and follow a celebrity for
that's coming from that's a different generation. This generation is everything's online. What we were talking about earlier. So they're all watching YouTube. They're all watching these
yeah,
influencers. You're not gonna understand. I'm not gonna understand. I know I'm not gonna understand. So when I'm looking at this stuff, even Jake Paul, Logan Paul, I don't know
All
how they got
streamers,
as
though.
famous as they were. Yeah, these are all streamers.
They're not
And
bloggers, vloggers, or none of that. I want people to understand there's a difference. They're not podcasters.
nope.
These are streamers, and I just learned this within this year, right? Because like people wanted me to hit on these stories so hard. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what is it that draws your attention to that? Somebody sent me a video of somebody crying because she got to meet Krishan Rock. I'm sitting here like, first of all, I don't see her as a role model. Second of all, I don't see her as a well-fit mother. But I'm not going to get into that because who am I to talk? Like, you see where I'm coming from? Like, could she change? Maybe. I don't know. So,
I
like,
know. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
like at the end of the day, I mean, I don't look up to celebrities to raise my kids. That's why it's hard
So
for
the
me
problem
to do.
is the kids still watch these people. Like somehow, my son still found these kids who review toy. They review toys, right?
Yeah.
The following that they have is so massive. This one kid, he has like 30 million views just on him reviewing toys, and he's like 6 or 7 years old. I'm like, so they're
Oh, they got a
gearing
new
these
kid?
towards kids, huh?
I said they got a new kid now. What
There's a
was
lot
the
of them. No, there's a
It
lot of
was,
them.
he just got a little older now, and I think they were explaining his story. Something happened. Like every little kid that becomes famous on YouTube is going through kind of almost the same thing, different ways. Or I'm gonna put it like this: whether it's physical, mental, or sexual, they're going through it. And I'm saying, I
Yeah,
was
and
like, it's
that's always
crazy
been
that
the
a lot
same.
of
Even
these,
with Hollywood, it's even
yeah,
it's
they're
always as they
exploiting.
get older. Yeah,
The parents are exploiting these kids. I'm like, that's another one.
some of
So
them,
I
yeah,
forgot
for sure.
who went famous not so long ago. He was doing the same thing, reviewing toys and stuff like that. It was this little young boy. I
Yeah,
forgot what his name
there's a
is.
lot of them. There's a lot. I didn't know that there's this whole different world out there. I'm like, wow, that's just crazy.
And
And
they
then
make
these kids are impressed. Like my nephew was impressed by how many followers somebody had. So he would watch videos just because they have 6 million followers, and it's
but
like you don't even
like
care what he's saying.
like I had talked. What's crazy? These Ryan's World, that little boy, that's what it was called, Ryan's World. They told his story, right, on how it was that he became famous, all this and stuff like that, right? In the process of all that coming out, a lot of stories started coming out because I watched the whole interview and shit.
Oh, I remember this kid.
Yeah, he became
Yeah,
real
see,
famous.
I just looked it up while you were saying
So,
39 million subscribers. This kid,
yep,
he made
and
over
all reviewing.
3,000 videos.
And what's crazy is, right,
I
I was
remember
having a
him.
conversation with somebody, right, and it was like the whole purpose, and it's true, like if you pay attention to the interview, right, yeah, that it's for the kids to have fun and stuff like that. But after a while, they don't really enjoy because it's kind of like, how can I say it? What we think it is not really. First of all, YouTube takes a percentage of that money from them, right? And let's not forget that as their kids, a lot of these kids that are becoming famous, not everybody thinks like you and me. You see where I'm coming from? Oh, it's my
Well,
son.
no, these kids are making millions of dollars. These kids are
The one
making
you're
a
talking
lot
about?
of money. Well, even that Ryan's World kid, all of these kids.
Yeah, he had a
When you
downfall
get a
though.
certain level, Lou's in the chat talking about I speed. Yeah, he's actually going to be one of the people in my next video.
It's a
Or
kid named Speed.
next
So,
live.
I Speed from
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. That's all in that group with DDG and
yeah,
Kai
yeah.
Sonetta and
Kai
all of them.
Sinat, yep, all of them. Yep,
And I
that's
think Kai
actually going to
Sonetta,
be a big part of my next
and that's what
video.
I'm talking about. Those are the streamers that people be confusing
Massive.
us for them. Yo, somebody said, yo, you're not gonna do a few more hours. I said, yo, I think one time I hit 6 hours. They're like, you're not gonna keep going. I said, what? I'm a parent, first of all. And I was like, it's already hitting. I pulled a whole all nighter. He's like, but you can. I was like, oh man, look, listen. They're like, people like that. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Somebody said it the other day. I was like, listen, I'm not a streamer. I can't pull an all nighter with 3 kids and trying to put bread on the table. And I'm like, I can't. Then I'm gonna have to expose. I can't expose my life. That's personal.
Yeah.
These kids
So
can do it.
I show Speed, Kai Sanat. These kids have tens of millions of followers. They are all millionaires. The Paul brothers were millionaires before they've done anything else.
They were?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, no, not before they did YouTube. They're making the money from YouTube. iSpeed's got 45 million followers across Twitch, YouTube. I think he's more YouTube. These kids are making So much money.
Him and Castaneda are real close. That's
Yep.
I learned that much.
Yeah.
I think they grew up together, became famous together.
That like I said, that's gonna be my next live is gonna be that. Ryan's still making videos.
Ryan's World?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He had a little downfall. That's why I was like, I gotta get more into that video and get a better understanding.
He made one yesterday. Yeah, he's still making videos. That's wild.
Yeah, and that's what we were saying.
I'm just looking. Miss Justice said share the screen. Yeah, I was just looking at his. I'll pull it up. I was just looking at his page or his channel.
Do you believe that a lot of these videos like make the kids want to buy these toys, and it makes the parents spend more and more money?
Oh, of course, that's the whole point. Look at this. I switched to popular for Ryan's World. He has a video that got 2 billion views 9 years ago.
Yep.
With a B. He got another one, 1.2 billion views, 472 million views. That is insane.
That's around the time he started.
Yep. 10 years ago. Insane. Oh, Miss Just J, you're gonna like my next live then. That is exactly the topic. I don't want to see nobody in a dress.
Who's gonna be in a dress?
Yeah, I'll
I don't know.
I don't, because if I get into it now, I'm gonna start.
That's him, Ryan.
Whoops, I wasn't supposed to do that. Sorry.
Chill, because when Ryan came on, I had my daughter. Bro, when I found out how much them toys cost, I'm sitting here like, yo, that's the conversation we was having the other day. Like, yo, these videos make parents go out there and release. These toys are not cheap.
That's why they're getting paid so much. That's why they know they're targeting kids to want to buy the toy. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. So it makes sense. I get it. That's marketing. That's what they're supposed to do. Yeah. That's why they are influencers. This little boy. Wow. That's 2 billion views. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
That's what I said. If you want to let your son do that and you're doing it the right way, do it. Like shit. I see some kids review and react with some parents. I've seen it on TikTok. I've seen it on what's that fucking app called? I know I was on an app the other day. Some new app I downloaded. Shit, I'm exploring new apps because I don't know if they're gonna keep TikTok or not. So I was like,
TikTok here is completely different than TikTok in China, which is very interesting. Yeah, they know what they're doing. They clearly know what they're doing. There was a guy who actually had like a weird cult, a TikTok cult. Did you see that? Where
I was hearing about it.
Yeah, they were making up the dances and all that stuff, and they were doing all these. It's really, really weird. This older Asian guy had like a weird sex cult with TikTok dances. He was recruiting people. It was creepy. I may have to do a video on that one of these days.
It was this guy on TikTok, right? Like he's a part of the community. I think he was going viral. Everybody was talking about him. He was putting on. It's this white guy with a yellow curly wig with red lipstick, and he was, encouraging kids to, that it was okay. You was a boy and you thought that you was feminine and all this stuff. I'm sitting here, I was like, see, that's where I have a problem, man. I don't give a fuck what you do behind them closed doors, but don't be telling these kids that this is okay. Let the kids be kids. See, this is where I'm going to speak up at. Like,
you're right at my next live. If you didn't see my live from the other day, this is the kind of stuff that I talk politics, but at the end of the day, these topics interest me, and I don't see enough people talking about them. So I always go back to those. But I did one call. They're coming for your kids, and that's what I'm talking about. My next one's going to be the same. Like I said, it's going to be about influencers, and those kids that we just talked about are going to come up for sure. So, yeah.
That's a fact, because the boy was an influencer. I was like, how is he an influencer? How did he be? I'm like, how do most of these people become influencer? I get the point. Like, Ryan's World, I get it. All right. He became a little influencer. Like, the whole point is to, sell, promote. He did his job. He had the assignment, though. But the majority
they do outrageous things. They just do outrageous things that, people think they're funny. That's why the pranks are so popular.
But some of these things are not pranks.
Oh yeah, those pranks go really bad, really fast.
They turn into
Really bad.
challenges. You got to realize that, like that's what I'm saying. Like that's how these challenges have been. I'm like, we keep thinking this is something new. This has been going on for a minute. It's just social media is make this so popular that.
Yeah. Yep.
But
What
I'm
time
gonna
is it?
I'm gonna hop
It's
down.
12:30. Yeah, I'm about to call it a night. I didn't know it was that late. But yeah, so
I'm gonna definitely catch a replay on your last line because I think I did miss it.
it wasn't my
See, I
last
don't
one.
get your
It was like 2 weeks ago.
I don't get
And
your
then
notifications. I was scrolling down and saw you live, and I have the notifications bell on.
that
I,
happens.
that
That
happens with
happens
a
to me
lot of
all the
people.
time.
So,
Yeah.
like, I don't get nobody's notifications like that. I get a few people's notifications. I don't know why. So,
Yep. But yep.
have a
Thank you very
night,
much for
and I
coming up,
appreciate you.
talking.
I'm sorry.
I
I guess there's a
really.
delay.
Oh, sorry. I didn't. What did you say?
I said, I guess there's a delay. We was just over talking each other.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. That was weird. I heard
I'm so
something, but I didn't hear you. So I appreciate you. Thank you again. Let's see who else. So Miss Just J, obviously, as always, thank you. Lou Jenkins, appreciate you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see. John Thompson, welcome, sir. Oh, he's got a 9-year-old. Yeah, you're gonna. If your 9-year-old plays Roblox, I would watch this. I just gave a couple tips and stuff that we do here to minimize the dangers of these online games that are going on right now. Appreciate you for stopping by, man. IB, thank you. Slim, thank you, sir. Appreciate you, man. Who else was in here? Writers for Life, thank you for coming up. Thank you for being in here. Dan Tana, appreciate you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see. I think that was everybody. Yep, that was everybody. Like, subscribe, share. My next live stream is going to be related to this, which is why I still wanted to get this off. Like I said, this was only going to be a short form video, but I wanted to explain what we do, and it would have taken just as long to do a short form video and explain what I'm going to do. So I figured I might as well go live. Appreciate you all. What did Miss Ryder say? I left and it took me to an uploads page. That's weird. But yeah, so I appreciate you all. You didn't get a notification. I scheduled it, but it was only for like 15 minutes. Normally there'll be like a 30-minute notification. So maybe that's why. Oh yeah, anytime, Riders, anytime. With that said, I appreciate you all again. Thank you so much. I'm O Speaks. Share this and like this, please. This is an important one, a very important one. The next one will be too.